If you spent any time in healthcare recently, you've probably noticed something interesting. Many people are coming to the emergency room not because they're having an emergency, but because they need health care. And after more than 25 years in healthcare, it's made me reflect on a bigger question. What happens when the emergency room becomes primary care? Let's talk about it. Hi there. I'm Kisha Pickford, a nurse practitioner, and on this channel, we have real conversations about healthcare, personal growth, emotional resilience, and lessons learned after more than 25 years in healthcare. And today, I want to talk about something I've noticed more and more over the years. People using the emergency room to meet healthcare needs that really require ongoing primary care. Now, before we go any further, I want to be very clear. This is not about blaming patients. It's not about criticizing people for seeking care. In fact, if there's one thing healthcare has taught me, it's that most people are doing the best they can with the resources available to them. What I've noticed over the years is that many people don't necessarily come to the emergency room because they want emergency care. Sometimes they come because it's the healthcare door that's open. Think about it. Maybe someone can't get an appointment with a primary care provider for weeks, or maybe they recently moved and don't have a provider. Maybe they work during clinical hours. Maybe transportation is a challenge. Maybe they don't know where else to go. Or maybe they simply need help and the emergency room feels like the only option available. And honestly, I understand that. Healthcare can be complicated, even for people who work in healthcare. Over the years, I've met many people who weren't really looking for emergency medicine. They were looking for access. They were looking for answers. They were looking for help navigating a healthcare system that can sometimes feel overwhelming. And one thing I think people misunderstand is the difference between emergency care and primary care. Primary care is designed for relationships. It's designed for prevention. It's designed for managing chronic conditions over time. It's where conversations happen about blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, medications, lifestyle, screenings, and long-term health goals. Emergency medicine is different. Emergency medicine is designed to answer a different question. Is there an emergency happening right now? That's our focus. Are you stable? Is there something dangerous we need to identify? Do you need immediate treatment? Do you need admission? Can you safely go home? Those are different goals. And sometimes patients are frustrated because they come seeking long-term answers, while the emergency department is focused on immediate safety. Neither perspective is wrong. They're simply different. I think this is one of the reasons communication is so important in healthcare. Patients often arrive worried, frustrated, or scared. Healthcare teams are trying to address immediate concerns while also helping patients understand what needs to happen next. And sometimes the next step isn't another ER visit. Sometimes it's primary care. Sometimes it's specialty care. And sometimes it's follow-up and ongoing management. One thing I've learned after many years in healthcare is that access matters. When people have access to preventive care, education, and ongoing healthcare relationships, Many problems can be addressed earlier. Not all problems, of course. Life happens. Emergencies happens. Illness doesn't ask permission, but prevention and continuity of care still matter. I also think this conversation is bigger than healthcare. At its heart, it's really about people trying to get their needs met. Most people aren't looking for inconvenience. They're looking for help. They're looking for someone to listen. They're looking for reassurance. They're looking for answers. And when one healthcare door feels closed, they often walk through the door that's open. That's something I've reflected on a lot over the years. Healthcare workers see it. Patients experience it. And both perspectives are important. As healthcare continues to evolve, I think these conversations matter because they help us better understand one another. After more than 25 years in healthcare, one thing I've learned is that many people don't come to the ER because they want emergency care. They come because they need healthcare. And sometimes the emergency room becomes the place where those needs show up. The challenge isn't simply where people seek care. The bigger question is how we create access, understanding, and support so people can receive the right care at the right time. I'm curious what people think. Have you ever had difficulty getting an appointment or accessing healthcare when you needed it? Or have you ever found yourself unsure whether you needed the ER, urgent care, or a primary care visit? Let me know in the comments. I don't know who will see this today, tomorrow, or even years from now, but this is my story and this is my perspective. I'm Kisha Pickford. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.